Hello, in today's video we'll be changing the oil on a 2010 Subaru Impreza. According to the owner's manual, it says that we need 4.5 quarts of 5W30 oil. And the first thing we want to do is lift the vehicle and put it on jack stands. And to remove the oil drain bolt, we'll be needing to use a 17mm socket. And you want to turn it counterclockwise so you can loosen the drain bolt. And you want to push in as you loosen the drain bolt so you have control when the oil comes out. And you want to make sure that the oil drain bolt's washer is still in good shape and still on the drain bolt. If not, it'd be a good idea to replace it. And once you see that the oil that is coming out is a slow drip, you can now reinstall the drain bolt. You can use your new filter to find the proper oil filter wrench. I got one that's pretty close and that should work. Your oil filter is kind of tucked away in between the exhaust piping, so you want to make sure that the engine is cold. And to remove the oil filter, I use an extension with the oil filter wrench. And as you can see, this oil filter wrench is just slipping on the corners of the oil filter. So to help with this problem, I just stuff a shop towel in between. And as you can see, it grabs and it beats having to buy a new one. And once you got it loose, you can remove the rest by hand. That way you don't end up having to clean the oil filter wrench. And you want to loosen it and let most of the oil drip. And once it slows, you can remove the oil filter completely. And you want to clean the oil filter surface and then make sure that the oil filter gasket stayed on the oil filter. And you want to get your new oil filter and fill it with oil. This will help your engine build up oil pressure a lot faster. And you want to coat the oil filter's gasket with oil. And you want to clean the surface one last time and install the new oil filter. And you want to tighten the oil filter as much as you can by hand only. And once you got the oil filter tightened as much as you can by hand, you can now lower the vehicle. And we can now remove the oil fill cap so we can pour in the oil. And you want to pour in the oil using a funnel. And I poured in about 4.5 quarts and then I stopped. And now you want to remove the dipstick so you can check the oil level. And you always want to wipe out the first markings that you get, in case they're the marks from the old oil. And as you can see, the level on the dipstick is at the full mark. So we can now go ahead and reinstall the dipstick and reinstall the oil fill cap. And we now want to start it so that we build oil pressure. And that means running it for a few seconds so that the oil pressure light comes off. And we now want to recheck the oil level. And you want to wipe out the first mark same as we did before. And as you can see, the oil level dropped about half a quart, which is just about what's left in the 5-quart jug. So I go ahead and add the remainder of what's left. And recheck the oil level one last time. And as you can see, it's right up to the full mark. And that pretty much does it for this oil change. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and consider subscribing.